Who doesn't know Vin Diesel? One of Hollywood's biggest action stars, he ranks among the highest-grossing actors worldwide. But here's an interesting fact. Unlike many action icons, Diesel doesn't have a martial arts background. This sets him apart from someone like Steven Seagal, a black belt in Aikido known for his real-life combat skills. So, what would happen if Diesel and Seagal ended up in a street fight? Would Diesel's on-screen toughness crumble under pressure? Or could Seagal's martial arts expertise fail him in an unpredictable brawl? Before jumping to conclusions, let's break down what each of them brings to the table. Let's start with Diesel's most intense cinematic fights. One of his most famous clashes is against another action megastar, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. These two juggernauts collided in an explosive battle that perfectly showcased their raw power.
I'll see you soon, Toretto.
Looking forward to a cop.
From the first punch, it was clear neither was willing to back down. The tension built as they exchanged bone-crushing blows, determined to overpower each other. At one point, The Rock managed to trap Diesel in a crushing hold, seemingly sealing his fate. But Diesel, showcasing his sheer strength and resilience, powered through, breaking free and shifting the fight in his favor. The battle moved into a dimly lit environment, adding to the intensity. In the end, Diesel capitalized on an opening, launching a relentless barrage of attacks and leaving The Rock defenseless. With that, Diesel claimed victory in one of the most brutal showdowns in action film history. But Diesel's fights don't stop there. Another epic clash unfolded when he squared off against John Cena. Unlike the heavy, grounded power of The Rock, Cena's agility made him a different kind of challenge. The fight began with Cena pulling off some surprising acrobatics, but Diesel wasted no time closing the gap. His brute strength quickly put Cena on the defensive, forcing him to react rather than attack. Cena fought back with a flurry of powerful strikes, but Diesel absorbed the punishment and countered with overwhelming force. Realizing he was outmatched, Cena made a shocking decision. He retreated. Diesel once again emerged victorious, proving his dominance against yet another action superstar.
It's because you're on the wrong street.
Diesel's fighting spirit wasn't just limited to scripted brawls. He once stepped into a wrestling ring, delivering a performance that left the crowd in awe.
Rule number one.
His opponent opened with a fast, calculated attack, but Diesel countered effortlessly, maintaining perfect composure. Was it possible he had picked up some real martial arts techniques, perhaps even Aikido?
In this position, it's relatively easy to manipulate your...
The wrestler launched another offensive, but Diesel shut him down again, this time locking him in a hold that left the opponent visibly in pain. In a moment of sheer humiliation, the costumed wrestler was left sprawled on the mat, completely overwhelmed. The match ended with Diesel applying a final, decisive lock, leaving his opponent utterly defeated.
Rule number one. Never be too eager to rush your opponent.
The message was clear. Diesel is a force to be reckoned with, even outside Hollywood's choreographed battles. But as dominant as Diesel appears, his skills pale in comparison to Steven Seagal's mastery of Aikido. Seagal's reputation isn't just built on movies. He was invited to Japan to showcase his expertise, proving his real-world combat skills to martial artists worldwide. During his demonstration, Seagal used just one hand to subdue his opponent, effortlessly neutralizing attacks. His precision was stunning. His sparring partners couldn't even land a single hit. To prove his dominance further, Seagal requested another challenger. The result, the same. Then he took on two opponents at once. They never stood a chance. His fluid movements and impeccable control left them completely powerless. And Seagal's displays of Aikido weren't limited to Japan. He was frequently invited to demonstrate his skills in various countries, each time reaffirming his legendary status. His approach to combat was almost effortless, never rushed, never wasted a single motion. One of his most jaw-dropping moments came when he sent a sparring partner flying across the mat with minimal effort. His joint locks were executed with such precision that opponents found themselves completely immobilized, unable to continue. Russia also recognized Seagal's expertise, inviting him to showcase his Aikido techniques. As expected, he delivered an incredible performance. To onlookers, his techniques seemed deceptively simple, but in reality, they required immense skill, timing, and discipline, something only a master like Seagal could execute with such ease. His reputation continued to grow, earning him respect not just as a movie star, but as a legitimate martial artist. Now comes the big question. If Vin Diesel and Steven Seagal faced off in a real fight, who would win? If the fight came down to raw physicality, Diesel might have the advantage. His strength, endurance, and ability to take hits would make him a formidable opponent in a power-based fight. If he kept his distance and relied on heavy long-range strikes, he could potentially overpower Seagal. However, if the fight moved into close-quarters combat, Seagal would have the upper hand. Aikido is designed for precisely this kind of situation, redirecting an opponent's force and using it against them. Seagal's ability to trap and control opponents would be a serious problem for Diesel. So who wins? It all depends on the circumstances. If Diesel keeps the fight at a distance, he stands a chance. But if Seagal closes in and takes control, Diesel could find himself locked in a hold with no way out. In the end, while Diesel's toughness is undeniable, Seagal's expertise in close-range combat might just give him the ultimate edge.